Make me feel this way. Got me hold up, girl.
Alright, so apparently my laptop is really lagging, so yeah. Sponsored by Google Pixel. Oh man, the quality of the stream. Holding my phone, I'm gonna give my laptop another chance. Hopefully it works, so I can put Jeopardy music. Come on, you two. Are you gonna do this to me? There's 4 more minutes. Come on. Just for 4 more minutes. Just 4 more minutes. Please, Jeopardy. Please. Work for me. Jeopardy. Senpai. Oh. Okay. Wow, that's nice. 42 foods you need to eat before you die. Come on, guys. You need to eat this before you die. You know what? Let's watch this. You guys need to be informed about this stuff. Okay? Ew, eggs. Oh, good lord. That looks like diabetes. Bangkok. Ooh, spicy. Spicy, please. Bagels from the bagel slide. Ooh. Oh wow. It is so satisfying. Oh my god. That is so satisfying. Oh my gosh. That's cool. Oh my god. Wow. Giant slab of brine Rainbow Beverly Hills. Okay. Cost of wow. It works. You know what? It works. Nothing better than looking at 42 foods you need before you die. Let's see if Jeopardy still works because oh, sponsored by Google Pixel. Hold on, what did I hear? The absolute size of
So we're all familiar with the Despicable Me movies, yeah? Yeah? If you're not, then get out of here, you Philistine. What not many people know is the absolute size of Gru. Like, this lad is enormous. Also, hi, Pimple, it's grown since last time. How you doing? So, Felonious Gru. Felonious, yeah, that's his first name. I didn't know either. He was named after the word felony. Like, his parents were just setting him up. Anyway, he's a pretty tall dude. How tall, you might be asking? Pretty tall. Okay, you have to repeat myself again. So the average height of a minion, the official average height, is 3.5 feet. Now, Boy Gru.
Wait, what?
Boy Gru stands at 4 minions tall, making him 14 feet. Sorry, what? Just for reference, okay, here's the average man and woman. And here's Gru, okay? He's a big boy. Here's Shaquille O'Neal, and here's Gru.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the world's tallest man to have ever lived, and here's Gru. So upon discovering this, I thought, you know, let's take this a bit further, okay? How about his signature weapon, the freeze ray? How big's that? Let's see where we can take this cartoon logic. So, using his height of 14 feet, I determined that the gun's height is roughly the size of an average man. It's fairly large. I'm not sure what the point of this video is, but it's big. It's a big gun. But you may be asking, okay? You may be asking, I know you are asking, how about his most noticeable feature? His nose. How big's that? And now I couldn't find, or I couldn't be bothered to find, a full image of him with his nose in enough detail. So, I used this shot, and I found that it takes roughly 2.1 of his nose to make up for his head. Let's just make it 2 for convenience's sake. Going by this, we can find that it takes 7.5 of his head to make up his full height. So that's around 15 nose lengths to add up to his height. And so we can just divide that to find that his nose is about 0.93 feet, or 11.2 inches. So for reference, here's his nose next to the world record holder for longest nose, and here's it next to a foot-long sub. It's a formidable weapon. From someone with a king-sized schnoz to another, I can give him respect, okay? You know, he's world record holder, Gru, well done. And now a giant, a Goliath like Gru, needs a big house to live in. Let's see how big. The Gru's height of 14 feet is, let's give him 1 foot of wiggle room between his head and the door. So, using that, I can measure up against the house, and I can see that his house is 125 feet tall. That's around 12 average stories. Here's a random picture of a 12-story building I found on Google Images. And here's his house. It's the same height. Like, it's unbelievable. It's his car. That's also an important piece of the puzzle, isn't it? His car. How big is that? Using the same reasoning as his house, let's give the door 15 feet, okay? We can use that to find out the dimensions of the car, which is 2.65 doors high and 5 doors long, or 39.75 feet tall and 75 feet long. Putting this into perspective, the tallest legal height for a truck is 4.3 meters, unless it's holding cattle or other vehicles, in which case it's 4.6. Meaning that his car, at 12.1 meters high, might be breaking the law, I'll be honest. And the average length of a transit bus is about 40 feet, making his car about twice that length. Yeah, what do you do?
You know what? I'm gonna turn this into a video. Watching the video upload. Not render, but upload. Which is probably gonna take like 30 minutes. And thankfully, I don't think it lags up my PC as much as rendering. So, yeah. I'm gonna change the title after. Okay, where is it? Okay. This is very triggering. I don't like. Okay, why didn't I just search it up? Okay. Okay. What? The absolute size of Shrek. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is start with this thing. I forgot what it was called. 21 Pilots. You know what? Believe it or not, it still looks up a song when oh, it's Doubt. Okay, I forgot.
Rooms2Go has changed the way to shop
Sponsored
for
by
outdoor
Rooms2Go.
furniture. Introducing Rooms2Go Outdoor.
Okay. Oh, goodness. An hour and 44 minutes. It's even worse than all my... You know what?
Do with this information? I don't know, but now you have it. And now for the question on all of our minds, his rocket. How about that? But in the first movie, there's no direct side-by-side of Gru standing next to the rocket. But there is this shot, in which Gru takes around, like roughly, it's very rough. It takes around 2.5 Grus to make up the height of this pod. Given his 14-foot height, we know that the pod is around 35 feet. And measuring that up, we can see that the rocket is around 18.5 pods high, making it around 647.5 feet. That's about 197.5 meters. And now to put this into perspective, the tallest rocket ever made was by NASA. It was the the Saturn V, I suck. Conveniently for us, was also a lunar mission, which was a massive 111 meters high. But to scale, Gru's one is a little bit taller and also a bit girthier. Oh, Gru. Yikes, I'm the guy who made Gru the events of the movie. I don't know how you don't. Disgusting. Gru tries to get the project to steal the moon funded by the Bank of Evil, but they reject him. So, To fund the
Not
project, he
kid-friendly
just sells
content.
things lying around his lair. And I'm here to ask the question, the much needed, very important question, how much did he have to raise to fund that rocket? Well, the entire project cost of Saturn V was about 6.5 billion, but the actual craft itself was about 165 million of their dollars. So, adjusting for inflation, that's around $1.2 billion just lying around in Gru's lair. He's a wealthy man. Given how quickly and easily and how little cost it has on Gru's personal life, he's most likely a multi-billionaire as well, as a complete and utter unit. So, you know, we know that now. We know that very, very crucial for life information. So now we know that Gru is extremely rich and an utter unit. But what's the use of such size, such massive scale, if you can't use it, yeah? It's what you do with it, right? And now, in this unforgettable scene that will invariably go down in cinema history, Vector sends an array of missiles towards Gru, where Gru easily just weaves between them like it's nothing at all. Let's see how fast he was going. He just runs through them like this man is unstoppable. This man is unbelievable. God, I wish I was him. What?
Let's just change it to upload.
Why can't that be me? Can I go through surgery to be Gru? Is that a thing? Is science there yet? And now the first thing we want to find out is what type of missiles are these and how fast are they going? So we want to determine if these are subsonic or supersonic missiles. And this can be fairly easily determined by seeing if the rockets break the sound barrier or not. If they go faster than the speed of sound, which we don't see a sonic boom, so easy. And so from that, let's just say that they're about the standard subsonic missile, which is about 0.7 Mach. I'm well educated. Anyway, that's around 232 meters per second, so still not slow. And now when he's dodging the missiles, the movie goes into slow-mo, so we can follow what this man is doing. A legend at work. And now for this game theory,
I feel like
because we know the speed of the missiles and Gru's height, we can see what's going on. I put way too much effort into this video. Because the footage is 30 frames per second, I went and took a 30 frame slice out of the footage to see how far each of them travelled. And so I took a frame at the beginning of the 30 frames and end of the 30 frames. I put one over the other, adjusted for camera movement, and so using Gru's 14-foot height, I determined how far each of them went. I have a light, I swear, this is important research, okay? Because we know the total number of meters per second that the missile travels, we can just divide that by the number of meters it travels here to see how slow the slow-mo is. And by my calculations, it's about 1/44th of regular speed. And so we can just multiply the distance Gru travels in this slowed down second, which is 19.18 feet, by 44, and find out that Felonious Gru, the man, the myth, the absolute unit, the legend, really, is capable of moving at speeds at or upwards of 257 meters per second. That's pretty quick. Like, that's not slow, is it? Felonious Gru's many things. He's a criminal. He has no regard for human life. He launches the biggest rocket known to man in a suburban area, ruining people's homes, breaking their windows. He doesn't care. He's a terrible man, but he's not a slow man. Or a weak man. In fact, if we speed it up to its normal speed, so multiply the speed by 44, the encounter with the rockets in real time goes like this. So in conclusion, God, I wish that was me. And there's plenty more logic that can be twisted against this movie, like the fact that this girl is around 7 foot. Shaquille O'Neal next to this girl, it's a spectacle. There's the massive underground lair underneath his house, which is so much bigger than his house, which is already a massive house, like, ugh! There's also the fact that the minions are just actual slaves, like, they are just slave labor for him. And there's also the fact that I bothered to make this video. Why did I do that? Hope you've enjoyed, I guess? Can this be enjoyed? This video was inspired by a copy pasta, which is kind of inaccurate. The rocket, they didn't get the right rockets, it's not that fast. So I thought I'd fix it and add upon it, improve it. So got this video. But I just love the idea of like taking a TV show or cartoon, taking its logic and turning it on itself. I love it too much. It's kind of unhealthy. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it, which is just too
Okay. Oh no, not the different basically nearly. Look at the absolute size of Shrek. No.
People don't want to talk about it, so I share it.
Okay.
Song by song, the dark and the light,
the
struggle
more
and
down.
the joy with my mental health. What's your mission? Use GoDaddy to help make it
There we
happen.
go. Wait, no.
Just a little disclaimer before I begin this video, this isn't meant to be a game theory, this isn't meant to be
Kinda like that.
factual, this is just me taking the piss, trying to find the most ridiculous measurements for these characters that I can, so don't take it seriously, it's just a bit of fun. Love you. Welcome, one and all, to possibly the most important video I will make in my life, okay? The absolute size of Shrek. And now, I made a video like this a while back called The Absolute Size of Gru, and somehow people actually watched it, and people seem to have loved it. So, I present to you the absolute size of Shrek. And now Shrek is one of the most beloved memes in the world. The film being a Disney parody in some ways, a satirical movie based off of beloved Disney properties. It's the kind of movie where Geppetto will sell Pinocchio to Lord Farquaad. That's pretty dark. Oh, and while we're on that note, I noticed that in the 4th Shrek movie, Pinocchio actually goes and sells Geppetto, so yeah, he gets his revenge. And also just a note, in this video I'm going to be using the metric system because it's objectively better than the imperial system, you American scum. Okay, so the official sources will tell you that Shrek is like 7-8 feet tall, but I don't buy that, okay? Nah, right, so let's compare Donkey's height. Okay, so a decently tall donkey's height will be around 125 centimeters from hoof to shoulder. So, let's compare that against Shrek. We can find that Shrek stands at about 2.85 times this height. That's around 3.6 meters tall, or 11 foot 10. It's not quite Gru's godly height of 14 feet, but you know, it's decent. He's a little bit taller than the average person, just a little bit. And there's also the fact that his hands are like weirdly big, so his hand next to the average hand is a little bit scary, and kind of hot. Imagine him choking. I'm not allowing myself to say that again, that's filthy. And also using this, we can find the size of one of his ears versus the average person. It's like he fought off 15 guys, armed guys, with just his bare hands and the help of a donkey. Yeah, that's pretty epic. And do you remember that time he spun a fully grown armored man like a baby? Yeah, there's also that. Also, do you remember that time that donkey killed a man? Because he's dead and like he didn't survive that. But let's get back to his strength later, okay? Let's move on to his speed. How fast is Shrek? And now to measure his speed, I took this part from Shrek 1, where he's breaking Fiona out of the castle, holding Fiona and Donkey, and he's running to outpace the dragon. And now using Shrek's height of 3.6 meters, and seeing that he's around the same size as one of these sections of these pillars here, let's compare that with his run at this part. Let's use the section from when he enters the screen here to when he disappears from view here, behind the pillar. Now the distance here is around 10 pillar sections long, making it a 36 meter run. And now we just need to find how long it took him to travel this distance, which is easy. We just need to see how many frames it took. 35. At 25 frames per second, this means it took him 1.4 seconds to travel 36 meters. And now this translates to 25.7 meters every second, and that is 92.52 kilometers
Geoceanics, this is the absolute size of Shrek.
an hour. And this is pretty impressive considering that the world's fastest man, Usain Bolt, his 100-meter record in 2009 was, what was it, 10.44 meters a second, so less than half. And now I know that this does include the time it took for him to speed up from the beginning, so the absolute top speed he reached was, what was it, 12.27 meters a second, or still less than half, which is still nothing to sniff at. Like, that's quick, that is 44 miles an hour, but compared to Shrek, your grandma, you're saying? What can I say? And now keep in mind that this whole time, Shrek is holding a grown woman and a grown male donkey and is wearing pieces of armor. And now taking an average height for a human woman, a male donkey, and a couple pieces of armor, which isn't that much, it adds up to 186 kilos. And now that's 186 kilos that Shrek is carrying, while over doubling the current world record. He's a beast, what can I say? He's huge. Like Usain's running down a perfectly clear track, with light clothes made for running, nothing in his hands, while Shrek is carrying a human woman and a donkey, and is wearing armor, and is running along a surface with cracks in the ground leading down to magma, rubble all over the place, has to jump over these chains that he is currently maneuvering around to try to trick the dragon into trapping itself. Like, he's running this while trying to think of where to go. He can't be beaten. And even despite all of this, he still easily outruns Usain, like, without breaking a sweat. The dude can't even swing his arms, so we know that his top speed is likely much higher. So, next time you're in your car, next time you're going 80, or whatever your mile equivalent is, you filthy Americans, just imagine Shrek out there, right? Just holding Donkey and Fiona, just steadily outpacing you. Not even trying that hard. And he's also pretty agile. Like, do you remember that time in Shrek 2 where he does a one-handed cartwheel while holding Donkey to avoid these oncoming crossbow bolts? Because there's also that. And now, do you remember the part in Shrek 1 where Shrek and Donkey are going across this bridge with the magma down below? And Shrek's just rocking the bridge, messing with Donkey. And now, why would Shrek do this? Is he fearless? Like, he clearly fears death. He's run away from the dragon. We know that he's not like... We know that he understands his mortality, right? Now, why would he do this unless, now hear me out, he knows that he can survive the magma? Can Shrek withstand 700 to 1300 degree heat? Probably. I mean, it's the only explanation. Okay, now I know the question that's on all of your minds, probably. Probably not, but I'm gonna say it anyway. How strong is Shrek? Okay, is he stronger than me? Probably not. But he might be close. And now the best scene I could find to show off Shrek's frankly Herculean strength was this one from Shrek 2, where he tips over this huge vat of potion. Now let's crunch the numbers. And now I understand that gravity would do most of the work here, but there has to be that initial tip, there has to be that initial push, because, I mean, it's balanced there, so he has to... There has to be the initial push is what I'm saying. And at first I'm going to get the weight of the contents of the pot. So, in this shot here, we can compare against Shrek's height to get the height and width of this pot. So now, this is a waste of time, but it's a very good waste of time. And we can use this one here to get the pot's thickness, and then we can subtract those measurements from the width of the entire pot to get the radius. I put too much work into this video with the 7th grade math. And now we can use this shot here to also find how full the pot was with this line here. Let's say 3/4 full, but frankly I do think it's a bit more, but let's just go with 3/4, just, you know, make it easy on Shrek. We can just multiply the area of this circle by 3/4 of the height minus this bottom bit here to find that the volume is 178.5 cubic meters. And now let's assume that whatever's in the pot, this magical potion stuff, is the same density as water, since it's around the same viscosity, and sadly I don't actually have any real life potions to measure it against, so this will have to do. This comes out to the contents of the pot being 178,500 kilograms, and we're not even close to being done. And next I have to find the weight of the actual copper pot itself, so let's dive in. And now how I'll do this is I'll find the area of this big circle and this little circle, and minus the little circle from the big circle to find the donut, to find how the area of the donut thing, yeah. Fun. So I've got that now. Next I'll just multiply it by the height of the thing minus the bottom solid bit, because we'll do that separately, and that turns out being this number. And next I'll just assume that the bottom of the pot is the same thickness as the sides of the pot, and then just use pi r squared on the circle, and then multiply that by the thingy, and find out it's this number here. And so the weight of this thing is 1,497,221.5 kilos, making the weight of the entire thing 1,665,721.5 kilos. that Shrek somehow lifted. How did he do it? He's a god. It's simple as that. He is a god and we should worship him. So yeah, moral of the story is, why did I make this video? But it's also...
See? Shrek is our god,
Shrek,
guys.
like, you can't compete with him. It's impossible. Look at you. Now look at him. You're an ant. And there's also the fact that they built this huge gingerbread man in one night and then left him to die. Like he's dead. He's not with us anymore. Also in Shrek the Halls, he endures a blizzard as well. That also takes place. That also occurs. And don't even get me started on his roar. Okay, I'm not even going to try to do the maths. Okay, but scientists have figured out how to make little objects levitate using sound, right? Like they did a toothpick, and that's like cutting edge. But somehow Shrek's roar like makes people fly backwards. It makes them struggle to stand. Like, he is a god. He could be used in the military as one of those sonic weapons, and like he could destroy civilizations. And now to sum this video up, okay, it is an official fact from the musical of Shrek that his birthday is on the 24th, right? That's a fact, you can look it up. It's on the 24th of December, one day before Christmas. I'm going to be making a petition to bring Christmas back one day to celebrate the true gods, to celebrate the real most important birthdays. I'll leave the link down below, share it around. I want to see this happen, okay? I want the governments of the world to get together and focus on something that really matters, okay? Let's bring Christmas to Shrek's birthday. Let's do it, guys. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's...
Okay. Sure, whatever you say. Okay then. Let's watch it. Let's watch Rulx's new intro like 1,000 times. No. Bye. Okay. Oh my gosh.
All my friends at Tilted Towers died. One of them fell off his glider ride. The other one fell in love with an enemy. The last one tried to survive the storm. All my friends at Tilted Towers died. One of them fell off his glider ride. The other one fell in love with an enemy. The last one tried to survive the storm. Welcome to the room of people who have room with the people that always get chests, but I don't get chests. Just because I don't have any skin doesn't mean I can't get wings, but I just can't. You never know the enemy sitting in the next room. You never know the enemy right behind you. You think you're...
YouTube
Sponsored by
Watch like a
YouTube
fan.
TV.
Hi guys, sorry about the Discord. I had to delete the server because it got raided and we lost everything. But there's a new Discord link in the description of this video, so make sure to join that. Thanks. Alright guys, so I'm back with another Minecraft parody. Hopefully you enjoy this. Minecraft Steve. take me by the block, lead me to the biome that you understand. Minecraft Steve, the adventure to the mine shaft with the diamonds is really cool. Oh, Minecraft Steve, the mine filled with diamonds is super good. And I wish to come back. Minecraft Steve, take me by the block, lead me to the biome that you understand. Minecraft Steve, the adventure to the mine shaft with the diamonds is really cool. Oh, Minecraft Steve, the mine filled with diamonds is super good. And I wish to come back. Minecraft Steve. Minecraft Steve. Minecraft Steve. Minecraft Steve, take me by the block, lead me to the biome that you understand. Minecraft Steve, the adventure to the mine shaft with the diamonds is really cool. Oh, Minecraft Steve, the mine filled with diamonds is super good. And I wish to come back. Minecraft Steve, take me by the block, lead me to the biome that you understand. Minecraft Steve. Alright guys, I'm doing Take On Me now. Alright. I really like this song, it sounds good. Mining away, I don't know what to mine, I'll mine this anyway. In this Minecraft day, so beautiful, further down. What's that I found? Mine diamonds. Mine diamonds. I'll mine them. So I'm
Okay.
so easy to mine. With my Minecraft pickaxe and shovels, hopefully they stay in my Minecraft chests. So I'm gonna make a lock on it. My diamonds, my diamonds. So far gone
Oh man. You guys love this song. Okay. It's a very nice smile. This looks very Oh, let's put this. Okay. Looks very interesting.
Welcome to America's Got Talent.
Thank you so much.
What's your name and how old are you?
My name is
Ew,
Mariana, and I
Fortnite.
just turned 12 years old.
Well, welcome, Americana.
Thank you.
And what are you going to be doing for us today?
Today I'm going to be dancing for you.
And who influences you when it comes to your
Oh,
dance
wow.
style?
Definitely my grandma, because she's 80 years old and she takes 4 dance classes a week.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Now, we do see a lot of dance.
I'm kind of...
Oh my god.
Yeah, this song's for all them people that play Roblox out there. You know what? I call them oofers because we always oof everywhere we go. You know, shout out to all the oofers out there. Oofer gang, yeah.
Oh god.
Oofer gang, oofer gang, oofer gang, oofer gang, oofer gang, oofer gang, oofer gang. Spin 2 robots on new chains. Minecraft play, stay in your lane. Why did the guests have to go away? Shout out to the guests that got thrown away. But you know the bacon hits are here to stay. Oofer gang, oofer gang, oofer gang. Oofer gang, oofer gang, oofer gang, oofer gang, oofer gang, oofer gang, oofer gang. Spin 2 robots on new chains. Minecraft play, stay in your lane. Why did the guests have to go away? Shout out to the guests that got thrown away. But you know the bacon hits are here to stay. Oofer gang, oofer gang, oofer gang. Roblox cost more than your fit, it do. I used to buy stuff with tick, yeah. In Roblox I'm handsome and rich. I am, without that Roblox glitch. Nope, none of this stuff is new to me. Nope, back then I used to be a newbie. Hey, I'm not like none of these artists. Oh, I don't take no one to the movies. Yeah, please don't get too upset. Nope, all day to the sunset. Yeah, I'm still scream green, gets back. Hey, guess we're fly like jetpack. Fly, obvious, yeah, that's where the stress at. When you die, yes, you get put back. Oh, they try to tag my message. Yeah, I'll just find another way to type that. Oofer gang, 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 oofer gang. Spin 2 robots on new chains. Minecraft play, stay in your lane. Why did the guests have to go away? Shout out to the guests that got thrown away. But you know the bacon hits are here to stay. Oofer gang, oofer gang, oofer gang. Oofer gang, 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 oofer gang.
I don't like that. It's very cringy. And I gotta go brush my teeth. 1 hour. 19 minutes. I should just end the stream. Harshly tag. Sad. Looks like he's having a seizure. Okay. Well, anyways, guys. Have a good rest. Okay, guys. Bye bye, Zlix. Bye bye, everyone. Yummy. Hungry, veggie, baby. But please calm down. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna go now.